So let us go straight into the first part now, which is the introduction to industrial process instrumentation. Okay. So first, what we are going to look at is industrial process. So what is an industrial process? Okay. So as you can see on the right of your screen, industrial process is a series of steps, okay, that you need to undertake in order to get your final output that constitutes your process in that industrial environment. So we can say that process, as used in the terms of process control and process industry, it actually refers to the method of changing or refining raw materials to create an end product, which means what we are talking of at this stage is a series of steps that you need to take in order to change the raw material that you have into a finished product or an end product. That is the process, okay, industrial process that we are talking about. So these process industries where these industrial processes takes place, they include the chemical industry, okay, where chemicals are produced, where raw materials are put together to produce chemicals for domestic use and also for industrial use, okay. So we have different types of chemical industries. As you can see, we have the petrochemical industry, we have the paint industry, and what have you. Then we also have the oil and gas industry. So the oil and gas industry, as well known, is made up of the upstream, midstream, downstream. Okay, the production aspect, which is the upstream, where the petroleum is actually produced or uh, mined, so to say. So you see that we actually need to control the processes in order to get the specification of this petroleum product, the petroleum, I mean to say, that we actually need out of those processes. Then we also have the refining industry and also the marketing and distribution. So all of these section of the oil and gas industry, the processes need to be monitored and controlled. So we are going to see some of the variables that we monitor in these various aspects of the oil and gas industry. Okay, so as you can see here, this is a production platform where the crude is actually produced. So you see that in the production, we need to monitor some certain variables, and in monitoring these variables, we need instrumentation, okay, so that we'll be able to get the desired quality and the desired output from that process. So we also have the food and beverage industries where food and beverages are produced. So the series of steps, which are the processes, we need instrumentation to monitor them, to control these variables so that the desired outcome from these processes will be achieved. So these are examples of process industry. Okay, so the process industry also include the pharmaceutical industries where drugs are produced, the water treatment industries where potable and industrial waters, okay, are also produced, as we can see. So this is an example of a water treatment plant. So here the water is meant to go a series of process. So for us to get the desired series of step, which is the process, for us to get the desired output, we need to monitor certain variables, okay, and we need instrument or instrumentation on the system or on the process. So we also have the power industry, okay, where electrical power is generated. So the steps that are involved, the series of steps, which is the process, we need also to monitor and control all of this. And it is the instruments that will help us to monitor and control all of this process. So as you can see on your screen, so we have a reactor, okay, where radioactive fission or fusion reactions. So those heat that is released is harnessed to heat up water, as you can see in a boiler. Okay, this helps to generate steam. So here we see the conversion of that heat energy that is as a result of that nuclear reaction in the reactor. That energy is converted to high kinetic energy in the steam, as you can see. And that fast moving steam with that high energy is directed towards the turbine. Okay, yeah, as you can see here. So at the turbine, the energy is converted, the high kinetic energy in the steam molecules is converted into rotating mechanical energy. So that rotating mechanical energy is transmitted along this shaft that is coupled to an alternator or a generator that helps to convert that rotating mechanical energy into an electrical energy that is further distributed. So you see that in this process industry, our desired output is the electrical energy, and you can see that we have a series of steps, okay, in the production of electricity. One, the conversion of heat energy in the reactor to steam, kinetic energy in steam, the conversion of that kinetic energy into rotating mechanical energy at the turbine, and also to electricity at the generator. So if you look at all of these series of processes, there are some variables, as we will see later, that we need to control in order to achieve what we need to achieve to get the desired level, okay, of voltage or of power out of the power station. So you can also see that part of the process is the condensation of that steam, okay, back to water, as you can see here in the condenser, and then it is recycled back. All of these steps, okay, that constitutes the process of generating electricity need to be monitored and controlled. So as you can see, these are some of the process industries, examples of process industries that we have, okay. So let us still look at what we mean by process control. Process control. Remember, we said the process is a series of steps, okay, in the process industry that we need to take in order to get our finished product. So process control is the action or the process of using technology, okay, or instrument to control that series of events that we need to transform our materials into the desired finished product. Okay, so that is the process control. So we also have process variables, as we said before. These are process parameters that changes with conditions of the process during normal operations. Okay, so these process parameters, they have the capability of affecting the process and thus the output or the finished product. So we need to control these variables, okay? But first we need to appreciate them, what affects them, before we'll be able to control the variables. So these process variables, they are process parameters that changes during the process with changes in process condition. Then process instrumentation, okay, is the use of technology. So process instrumentation is the use of technology or the use of instruments to monitor and control the changes, okay, in these process variables. That is, as these variables are changing, the technology or the instrument that we use to look at them as they are changing and then to readjust them to the level that we want them to be, okay, so that our process will bring the desired output. That is called process instrumentation. So we are going to see more details of it later, okay. So let us also look at the types of process industries that we have. We have basically three types. We have the continuous process. This is the process industries where raw materials are continuously fed into the process and products are continuously removed from the process at the same time. A good example is the power industry that we saw earlier and the refining and petrochemical industry. So like in this power industry now, you see that the water is continuously fed, okay, since we have continuous heat generation at the reactor, so steam is continuously generated also and power is continuously given off or generated. That is the product of this process, okay. So this is an example of continuous process because the various steps are undertaken continually and our output is gotten out of the process continually also. So you see that we continually feed in the raw materials, okay, what is needed to produce our desired output, and we continually take out the product of the process. So that is a continuous process, okay. Then also too, like in the refining too, the distillation process is also a continuous process. So you see in it that we continually feed in crude into the distillation column and continually take out product at the various draw off points, okay. So you see that it is heated in the heater and then it is sent into the distillation column as you can see, okay. So the parts of it that has been evaporated or vaporized will rise up the column, and as they rise up the column they are cooled at different trays. So and this is done with respect to the boiling point of the various products, okay, in the crude. So at the draw off point we have different products as you can see. So all of this is done in a continuous process, okay. It is done continually. So this process is termed continuous process, in that raw material is constantly fed into it, that is crude, fed into the heater and then into the distillation column, and products, gas and what have you, they are constantly drawn off, okay, from the distillation column at various points in the distillation column. So we also have the batch process too, okay. So in the batch process, materials are added in a vessel at a particular quantity and measurement, okay. They are added in a vessel, then a process is meant to take place. At the end of that process, the product of that process is now moved to another process, and then maybe other materials will be added or it will be subjected to a different condition, okay, to generate another product from that process. So as you can see here, you see that products could be sent into this vessel or tank, then they blended together, mixed for some time, okay, subjected to certain condition, maybe heating or pressurization, okay. Then after it has been subjected to that condition, a product will be formed from this process, okay. Then it can now be sent into another process, and as it's sent into another process, other raw materials, okay, are added, as you can see, and then the mixture could be subjected to a different condition that is different from the condition it was subjected to here. Okay, so you see that the process is going on in batches, and we expect that a specific product should come out from one batch, okay, from each batch, and then they are sent to another batch subjected to a different condition until we finally get our product out. So a notable example of industry that is engaging in this kind of process, this batch process, is the beverage or beer industry, or the soft drink industry. Okay, so you see that the raw materials could be mixed at a certain stage, heated at a certain stage, filtered at a certain stage. Other additives may be added at different stage. Then the corking, as you can see, filling of bottles, and filling of the bottles or the can, and then the corking will also take place at different stages. Okay, so this is called the batch process. You must finish one stage before you can go to the next stage. Okay, so we have the discrete process or discrete manufacturing process, where a component of the finished product is subjected to a complete manufacturing process or production process, okay, which means that separate components, they are produced in different processes, and then those components, they are brought together and assembled together. And a good example is the automobile industry, where cars are manufactured. So you see that the engine, they are produced elsewhere. It could be that these various companies, they may be produced in by different companies in different countries. Okay, the engines may be produced elsewhere, the windshield produced elsewhere, all of these wipers and what have you, they could be produced elsewhere also. The tires could be produced elsewhere, the headlamps, they could be produced elsewhere. Okay, so these various components at the end will be brought together and then assembled to give us what you are seeing on the screen. So that is the discrete manufacturing process, and the automobile industry is a very good example of the discrete manufacturing process.